Oh, what's the problem with IPs? Let's hear it. They're too selfish, right? They're so busy working on their own thing, they care about something, and then they ignore the tribe and the tribe gets mad at them. Dude, if you're an IP, you better hope that's what your problem is. You got it way worse than that, my dude. Like, you might have an IP ask you, like, so are like people mad at me? Or like, what do people say about me? I don't know how to tell you this. Not only is no one talking about you, people don't even know you exist.
Do you even go to this school? No.
This whole video is kind of geared towards slightly more ambiverted or less extroverted IPs. For everybody else, you got some real issues. All the IPs are kind of like missing in their own way. INFPs, they literally are unicorn fairy dust because no one's ever seen one in real life. The ISFPs are too busy admiring themselves in the mirror, patting themselves on the back for the social causes that no one knows or cares about. The ISTPs you do see quite a bit because they're too socially inept to know that nobody likes them. And the INTPs, they have to go online because they don't have any friends in real life. Really think about it. Think about the IPs you know in this community. Not your mom, sister, daughter that you typed yourself, the actual people that have been typed. They're all absent in their own way. Either they're completely absent, or there's a whole part of their personality that's missing. Even if you know and you like them, you kind of don't really know them that well. Like right now, my sister just walked in. She's visiting. She sees me set up with this ridiculous camera setup. Is she going to ask me about it? No, because everybody knows. Don't ask him about what he does. And the sad thing is then you don't really get to share what you are really about. And the IPs might hear this and be like, you know what? I am kind of mysterious. You're not James Bond. You are a mole person that lives in the underground that nobody knows. This is the problem with DI in general, whether you have it in the middle as an EP or an IJ, or you have it on the top as an IP, which is the introverted decider. Introverted functions are long-term focused. Watch my first video about that one, in that they're seeing their long-term potential, their standards, the possibilities of what they could be. And it's not that IPs or DIs in general are like walking around thinking they're amazing. Maybe some of them are, and maybe the ISFPs are because they're really good looking and they're confident and they know what they want. But for everybody else, it's not that they think they're amazing, it's just that they have a certain standard that they want to associate themselves with. Look, these are my standards. I think a person, or I think I should be like this and this and this and this. And I know I'm not there yet, but I can be and I will be. I want to be there. And when you go out, the tribe is just gonna see you as you are in the moment, and the feeling is uncomfortable. Well, you're not that, but I want to be and I will be. Well, you're not that. Fine. I'm gonna go into my basement and work on myself. Rocky montage, right? That's the IP story. I'm gonna Rocky montage while the tribe is away, and I'm gonna come back and ta-da! When that works out, that's great. Most of the time what happens is you're gonna go in your basement and you're gonna be the same loser person you were 5 years ago. In fact, you're gonna be worse. Because the reality is the process of like getting better is messy. Messy in front of people. Like, why is Demon Blast associated with DI? Blast will be like, man, it's like really perfect in my head, but when I open my mouth, it just doesn't come out right. That's because it's not perfect in your head. Whatever you're saying is not that insightful, it's not that interesting, it's not that smart, it's not that compelling, and you just have to admit that to yourself. And you gotta open your mouth and keep saying stupid shit until it gets better. It's not perfect in your head. That is a delusion. Or demon play last. I associate myself as being like this type of personality. I'm really outgoing, I'm really funny, I'm really in a good mood all the time, but my business hours are 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Outside of that, don't judge me. And if you're gonna knock on my door, I'm just gonna lock my door because I don't want to come off in a way that I don't associate myself with. But it's like, that's not you. If that's not you, when I wake up in the middle of the night, that's not you when I bump into you in the street, that's not you. The reason this is a problem is that you'll have IPs or maybe DIs in general just put their life on pause. Well, I want a job that's like this and this and this. And until I get that, I'm not gonna work. Or I want a partner who really cares about their health, really cares about the career. It's like, dude, you're out of a job and you're out of shape. It's like, well, yeah, but that's why I wouldn't date anyone until I am those things. And then you spend 5, 6, 7, 8 years out of the dating market or out of the job market. You put your life on pause, and there's no guarantee you're gonna be any better when you do dive in. Like, say whatever you want about all the other types, is at least they're out there, they're living their life, and people know them, and they have connections, and they're doing stuff that they care about. If you're an IP and you're just even slightly introverted, you can easily fall into this hole of, let's take this example, right? Just like, oh, you're an IP, you're working super hard on something, and then you bring it to the tribe, and they hate it, and then you have to like walk away with your tail between your legs. Like, dude, that's not that bad. You do that a couple of times, you're golden. Because the reality is the majority of IPs aren't really working hard on anything, nor do they bring it to the tribe. And so like, if you're doing either of those things, you're doing great. And this applies to all introverts. The danger is people will slap you to wake you up, but no one's gonna pull you out of bed. So like, that's the problem with DI and general introversion. And the IPs have it even worse because of double observing. That means I can deal with the chaos of the world myself. I'm not gonna bother the tribe or look stupid in front of the tribe by asking them for help. That means I can opt out of the tribe game altogether. That means you don't take on hits against your identity. You don't burn down the tribe in the ways that everybody else has in high school or much younger. And so then when time comes where you do have to interact, you're now playing with live ammunition and you might actually hurt someone or get yourself hurt. And the reason I bring this up is that telling IPs that they're gonna burn down the tribe is like literally giving them the wrong cue. It's like telling an EP, is like, you're gonna get controlled. The response to that is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna run out of options. I gotta make sure that I keep on changing things up and making sure that my options don't narrow down. Or telling an IJ is like, your plan's gonna fall apart. It's like, oh, my plan's gonna fall apart. I need to make sure that I insulate myself from the outside world even more so that nothing screws me up. Same thing when the IP is like, oh, I'm gonna piss people off. I need to make sure that I don't piss people off. No, you should piss people off. Look, I'm just setting the stage of what causes all the IP problems. I haven't even gotten to the actual problems yet, which I'm not gonna do in this video. But the issue is that now you have the DI problem, and then you have the double observing so you can avoid tribe feedback. So unlike the EPs and the IJs that are out there, they're saying crazy shit and people are like, that person's crazy. The IP is still thinking all of those crazy things, but those things are not getting checked. And so then you have stagnant water. And I caught this comment from the EP video before it was deleted. I saw it. I'm not gonna talk about it directly because it's too spicy. But yeah, you can easily develop a crazy worldview. Literally, if I type in that word, a picture of an IP pops up. Look at that. What happened in this situation is you have a certain belief, like the world should be this way. I'm not gonna go out, bonk on the head of the world and see if it actually is that way. Or I'll try like once or twice. If you look at the comments on this guy's videos, it's like, hey, why don't you take all this energy and actually go talk to someone? Or ask someone out. And like maybe he did ask someone out like one time. Not only is that not enough for the average person, you are a creepy dude. You gotta do it way more than the average person. You need to go out there and find a double decider with demon intuition whose full-time job is to ignore red flags. And then when that burns down, you gotta learn to be a little less stupid, a little less creepy, and try again and again and again and again. Because life is messy and you can't get away without looking stupid. And you can laugh all you want at all the other types for looking stupid and saying crazy shit and being embarrassing, but at least they're out there living life and people actually get to know who they are without always holding your breath and pretending to be the way that you think a person should be. I'm kind of also talking about this because I think people have the impression that, oh, IPs are the most unabashedly themselves. They're not. That's more like ISFPs, like Jennifer Lawrence. That's why everybody loves them, because they're just themselves and they're just like out there. For all the shit that I talked about EPs, everybody loves EPs, because they realize there's only one life. So go out, cause a lot of chaos, just don't get anyone pregnant unless that's what you're trying to do. Don't hurt anyone. Don't lose your limbs or die or any of that bad stuff. You can lose all your money until you're 30. Other than that, just go out and cause chaos. And as always, remember, you can be kind or you can be one of a kind. I'll catch you guys next time. Of course, the neighbors have to look at me, not looking at you cleaning the freaking garden. Why you gotta look at me? Doing also a normal garden activity. I just want to go off the script and just talk. Almost. I'm not gonna do that because I'm OI.